Hello everyone, so welcome to today's video. I'm doing a fall look. I'm using some peaches, some kind of tan shades that are warm, some browns, some golds. I don't know, I just wanted to use the colors that I'm seeing right now on the leaves, the typical fall shades. I initially came up here with the idea of doing something soft and light, kind of fall-like, but that's going to have to be another video because even though this is not super dramatic and super crazy, like this is definitely something that I would wear to go anywhere. It's not what I initially envisioned I was going to do for today's video, but that's what happens. I get into my element. I come up here to film when my daughter is napping and the house is nice and quiet, and I just immerse myself in all things makeup, and I am playing like a kid in a candy store. And so this is the look that I came up with. We're using a few new things, a few of my favorites that I've shared with you guys in previous videos. We're kind of using some old nostalgic things and just kind of sitting down, we're chatting about a couple things, and we're just getting ready together. So I hope that you will enjoy it, and if you want to see how to do the look, then keep watching. I'm going to start with the face first, and I'm going to use the Milani Soft Focus Glow. This is the complexion enhancer that I talked about in a previous video, and I forgot to use this in my full face of drugstore makeup, and I've used this since filming that video, and I do love the way this looks. It's a very beautiful glow. Comes with a pump, which is even better. I use about that much, just basically one pump. And this gives you such a pretty glow, but it's not so shimmery where you can actually see shimmer little bits on your face. It's not glittery. It just makes your skin look like you just have the best skin, or like you just got a facial and you have that pretty glow. It's just something that I like it. And I like to smell it. I like to smell all my products, but this one doesn't have too much of a, there's something there, but I can't quite put my finger exactly what the scent is. It's not floral, it's not fruity. It just smells, I don't know, kind of like skincare-ish. And that's just one pump. And if I back away, hopefully you can see a little bit better. I'm going to take just a touch more and just kind of concentrate this on the tops of my cheekbones, around the brow, nose. For foundation, I think I'm going to use my Revlon foundation. I did mention this in my last video, which was like all about drugstore makeup, my top drugstore picks. And I like to apply it with a damp beauty sponge, so I'm not going to bore you with this part because this is something you've seen so many times. Then moving on to concealer, I'm going to start with my Charlotte Tilbury Corrector. And I'm going to use a concealer buffer brush first to apply that. And I'm just going to do a very thin amount. Taking the Flower Beauty Concealer. This is in the shade L1-2 Fair. And I've talked about this before. It's actually a really good one. Do a couple little swipes. Or maybe a lot of swipes. I think I only got maybe 6 hours of sleep. I stayed up late last night watching basically like a new addition to a show that I used to watch. The show was called Power, and it came on Stars, and I watched it from the very beginning all the way until the very final season. And then they came out with like, I want to say like a spin-off to the previous seasons. It's okay so far. I mean, I'm watching it because I watched these characters, and there's a couple of new people. I'm just adding a little bit more concealer. A couple of new people on there. Method Man is on there. That's new. Mary J. Blige is on there as well. So they've got new characters showing up, and just kind of like a spin. But this is like the take of the main character's sons, like from his perspective, I guess. I don't know. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this and go over the areas that I want a little bit more coverage, just right in here. So I ordered recently one of the Tarte holiday items. I know holiday makeup is starting to kind of show up, which is crazy. Can you believe 2020 is almost on its way out? But I guess that's a good thing, right? So I did order a set from Tarte. using my e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder to set my under eye area. So anyways, speaking of holiday, is there any like holiday makeup sets or items that you've seen so far that are interesting that you are kind of curious about? I'm starting to kind of see those showing up on my Instagram feed, just like sneak peeks, a couple holiday things, like because we're approaching soon Halloween, so I've seen like the Hocus Pocus stuff. I think that's ColourPop. Anyways, they I watch the Hocus Pocus every year around this time, at least once, and it's a good movie. It's an oldie but a goodie, and so they came out with a collection. I don't know if it's any good or not, but that's out. Tarte's like holiday stuff, like I said, is out as well. Crazy. Going in with my latest bronzer addition to my collection. That's the Milani one. This is in the Silky Matte in Sunlight #1, which I believe is the lightest shade. It's a very good bronzer. I also ordered the Soft and Sultry eyeshadow palette from Milani. I did a video, like a drugstore, using Milani, the Pure Passions eyeshadow palette. And someone left me a comment mentioning the Soft and Sultry, which I was looking at, and I almost got it, but then I thought, let me just stick to the one that I've been wanting to try, the warm tone one, of course. And so, of course, I go back and I'm like, you know what, I should have just ordered the Soft and Sultry, so I did. And someone else mentioned in the drugstore favorites video, which if you haven't seen it, check it out and then leave me your favorite drugstore makeup, or you can leave me a comment here on this video. Someone mentioned the Milani eyeshadow primer, so I also ordered that. And I'm going to get the Maybelline, I think it's the Fit Me Concealer that someone else mentioned they liked as well. So let me know what your favorites are so I can buy them. And then we can do a video testing out y'all's favorite makeup products from the drugstore. I think that would be so fun. And I think I've gone a little too much with my bronzer, but it's okay. So for blush, I think I'm going to go in with my Bareback all over face color from Nudestix. I haven't used this in a while. I've been using some powder blushes, like Milani one that I recently got. E.l.f. ones are really great, Cab Cosmetics. And I do like to apply this with a stipple brush. This is the MAC 130. I've had this brush for years, and I just recently dug it out of like a whole bag full of brushes. So I'm going to go with something very soft and light because I can always layer over this something a little bit darker, something more fall-like. But I just want to do, I guess, my complexion stuff first and then move on to the eyes. And then I always like to go in with my damp beauty sponge after I apply cream products, just to make sure everything is really well blended. So I just realized my camera cut off, thankfully, before I started my brows. So I was talking before my camera rudely cut me off about the Kat Von D powder that I got off of the Sephora app. It was on clearance for $8, and I was looking for a brow powder just to kind of get back into this formula. I use pencils and like tinted brow mascaras most days. So I got the shade Dark Brown, and before the camera cut off, I was showing here a close-up, so I'll do it again. It has like a bit of a metallic feel to it, and it just, I don't know if it's going to be the right color, even though this is dark brown. But I'm going to try this. It feels kind of weird doing my brows with a powder. It's been a little bit. I used to use the Anastasia brow powder. It's like a duo, so you get two colors. So you use the lighter one on this inner part, and then you use the darker one like in the middle to the tail end, and then you kind of just, you know, adjust it, or you can kind of make your shade if you're in between two different colors. So it was really nice product, really great formula. Alright, and then to set my brows, I'm going to use a little bit of the e.l.f. Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Urban Decay primer on my lids. Blend that in with my beauty sponge. So now we have to move on to eyes. I have not used the Dose of Colors Sassy Siennas. I got this a few months back. I remember when I did a video using some of their products, I used the Baked Browns, which actually ended up looking a little bit more warm than I expected, just because when I look at it in person, I thought it was going to be just a subtle bit of warmth. And this is what the Baked Browns look like. The Sassy Siennas, though, it's definite warm. And does this not scream fall? Like the orangey kind of colors that you see in fall. But I also have my Naked Reloaded, because I really do enjoy this. I may pull from this as well and use that shade called Blur, which looks like this. Very soft, light. And I'm going to go all over my lid, all the way up to my brow bone. And I'm using the crease brush from the Milani Jet Set Eye Kit. It's a 3-piece brush set, which is actually quite nice. They haven't shed at all yet, so that's always a plus. So I'm going to take that same crease brush, and I'm going with the shade called Bucked from Urban Decay Reloaded, which looks like that. Very, very light tan, perfect transition shade, perfect blending color. And this is going to go, whoa, that's pigmented, right in my crease. And I'm just going to follow my natural shape. And I'm just putting down a quick base of color. Right, so then going into the Dose of Colors palette, I think I'm going to go in with this very center shade, which is called Foxy. And it's like a light tan, but it has like that peachy undertone, and it's the lightest color in this palette. Tapping off the excess because there is some pigment on these eyeshadows, using the same crease brush. And I'm going to go, you see how when I place that, it just kind of transferred that color. So this is going to go in my crease. And I'm going to blend this back and forth. I'm going to go in with a larger crease brush and the first shade that I use, which is that Blur. And I'm going to go around the edges of that because I feel like I want to blend this just a little bit more as it goes towards my brow bone. I'm going to go with a pencil brush and use that same Foxy shade from the Dose of Colors palette on my lower lash line and just kind of add some of the same colors that we use on the upper and kind of bring that down to the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take a wider brush. This is also from Milani, from that 3-piece set. And I'm going to kind of blend this out with nothing on there. And just kind of soften those edges just a little bit. Then with an angled brush, I'm going to add some of the darkest shade from the Dose of Colors, which is this one here. This was in the shade Stay Sassy. I had it kind of twisted so I couldn't read it, but it's this color here. It's kind of like a chocolatey brown. And I'm trying to stick pretty close to the root of my lashes. Finally, the sun is going behind a cloud. Thank you. So I'm going to take a Sonia Kashuk brush. This is the number 106 that I've had for years. It's a very small eyeshadow brush, looks like that. And I'm going to take a little bit of the first shade in the Dose of Colors palette, which is a matte peach. And by the way, these are all mattes. I don't know if I said that to you already, but they're all mattes. So I'm going to take this very light peach here. And these come with a double-ended brush, which I don't even know what I did with the brushes. And I'm going to kind of pack that on the outer half of my lid. I want to leave the inner part a little bit bare so that I can add something light, maybe something a little gold. I'm looking at Barely Baked from the Reloaded palette. So I think I might do that. I'm going to do this on half of my lid. Go in with Barely Baked, which looks like that, and it's like a soft gold. I'm usually not into like golds too much, but this one looks really pretty. And this is going to go in the inner corner of my eye and kind of meeting up to that peach shade that I just applied. It adds a little bit of something to the look because everything is just so matte and flat. I just figured we try something sparkly and pretty. And I'm just going to kind of blend that right where they meet a little bit. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to take that same brush and that same gold color, and I'm going to go into the inner corner just to kind of swing that color down just a little bit. It's not often that I use gold in the inner corner, but I feel like why not? We're doing some fall oranges, golds, browns, and I wanted to do something just softer, so that's going to have to be another video because this is definitely not, I mean, it's not super intense, but definitely not soft, which is usually my problem. I start with something light or the idea, and then I end up with something a little bit darker. All right, so for the outer corner, I think I'm going to go in with that same brown shade and that same eyeshadow brush. I just wiped it off, the Sonia Kashuk one. And just pick up a little bit of that, and I'm going to just lightly stamp that right on this outer V of the eye. And I'm not trying to overlap too much of that peach because I want you to see that dark brown, a little bit of peach, a little bit of gold. So working with 3 different shades on the lid. I'm going to go back in with that Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that first peach shade and just add a little bit more because I feel like we did cover quite a bit of it, blending that brown. So I'm just going to kind of pat where it touches that gold and then a little bit where it meets with that brown. And I'm using the tiniest little bit. So for eyeliner, I'm going in with a little bit of gel liner. This is the Maybelline one. And I'm going to take a flat definer brush that looks like this. I've already loaded up the brush with some product. And what I'm going to do is tight line with this first. So I'm going to take the brush and just get it on my waterline and just kind of wiggle it. And make sure the root of my lash is super dark. I've been doing this a lot with gel liner. And it creates the thickest roots ever. Because this gel liner is seriously no joke. It is very, very pigmented. All right, so then I'm going to switch to a very thin, precise angled brush. This is the Zoeva 317 wing liner brush. It's the perfect brush for gel liner. And I'm going to stick pretty close to the root of my lashes. I want just a thin line. I don't want to cover up too much of this eyeshadow because I think it looks really pretty. If you don't want to use black, you can also use like a dark brown or a pencil liner. It would be a little softer if that's what you choose. So I'm just basically lightly going right at the root of my lashes, and this thin brush really does make all the difference because I don't want it to get too thick because that can happen real fast. All right, so now that the eyeliner's done, I want to finish up this tube of mascara. So this is the Maybelline, the Falsies. I want to open up some other ones. I have some high-end ones like the Lancome. What is it, the Monsieur Big mascara. I've got a CoverGirl one that's new. I've got Smashbox. I've got so many new mascaras. And I want to open them, but I don't want to have so many open at once. I used to do that, and I don't like doing that anymore because it's just wasteful. And then I end up having to throw them away. So I'm trying to be good and not have more than 1, 2 max open at once. We need to do some highlight before I forget, and then lips. So let's do the highlight first. I think I'm going to use my Stila one. This is a Stila Kitten Eyeshadow actually, and this is very potent stuff, let me tell you. It's beautiful. This used to be my everything way back in the day. I mean, we're talking over 10 years ago, probably longer than that, 11, 12 years. The sun is gone again. I like to use the Morphe Y14. It's like a jumbo size crease brush for highlight. And I'm just gonna lightly just tap one time because this is potent. And I wanna start off light and then add more as I would like. Because if you put too much of this on, it's gonna be a lot. And you can still see a little bit, especially like on my nose, that glow from the Milani stuff. Check that Complexion product out. It's beautiful. Hit my cupid though as well. So I'm going to use a little detail brush and kind of add some to the brow bone area. Alright, so we're going to use a little bit of Dose of Colors for the lips. I have talked about this gloss before. I love this gloss. It's called Made You Blush, and this is so beautiful. This is like the perfect gloss. It's glossy, smells good, it has a lot of pigment to it. It's so beautiful on the lips. It's comfortable, it's not sticky. When you're talking, it's not like your lips are all gooped up, which, ugh, gross. Nobody wants that. So I love that. Check that gloss out. It is worth every penny. I also have their liquid lip, their matte liquid lip, in the shade called Truffle, which I'll show you. It's a very kind of everyday color. It might actually pull some warmth from the eyes, so I think I might try this. So let's start with maybe a little bit of lip liner. This is the Maybelline Nude Whisper. I wear this every time I do lip. Like any sort of lip gloss, lipstick, I'm always reaching for this. It's so good. This one or the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. It smells like vanilla. So good. And the applicator is like at an angle, but there's also a little bit where it looks like a dip in there. So it looks like it collects some of the product, which might be nice. Because I may only need what's left on here after swiping it. And I did make a mess, so I will show you. It's messy, but I do always swipe the applicator on the very edge of the tube because I feel like liquid lips, the thinner, the better. I think that's a good general rule for pretty much any brand. Oh yeah, that's nice. So I'm gonna do that and then come in here and add a little bit more. Hopefully I don't end up with shriveled raisin lips, but the color is so beautiful. And there is like that soft kind of everyday kind of natural look and vibe from the liquid lip, but I'm picking up a little bit of warmth as well. And I feel like it plays really nicely with the eyes. I don't know, I just like the peach, the golds, the browns, super fall-like. And then the lip I feel like is also pulling in those vibes. And I think that these colors really go great with my olive dark green tank top, which I get tons of these from Target, by the way, and my animal print. I should have put on my leopard print loungewear pants that I got from Walmart because they're made out of velour. They're so incredibly soft, but I forgot. I should have done the whole leopard thing, the whole leopard vibe, because these little scrunchies are so cute from Target, so check those out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video and getting ready with me. I know the lighting is kind of crazy, but you know, I'm working with natural light, and sometimes it's really great. Sometimes it's like today where it's a little bright, it's a little dim, it's a little dark. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and like I said earlier, I had fun using some old products and some newer things, and just kind of sitting down playing with makeup with you guys and spending some time with you guys. And don't forget to leave your comments down below with your favorite drugstore products, because I want to put them together and use some of your favorites and recommendations in a future video coming up really soon. And also let me know what kind of fall makeup you've seen that kind of piques your curiosity, and so I can look into it and see what's out there. There's so much going on with so many newness. It's hard to keep up with just cosmetics in general. It's like every day something new is coming out. So if there's something really good and eye-catching that you think I might like, let me know as well. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos so we can chat and play with makeup again in the future. You can follow me on Instagram. I post on Instagram pretty regularly on Insta stories, you know, just bits and pieces of my personal life and home decor of the new house and stuff like that as we decorate. So check it out. It will be on the screen and also in the description box with the list of everything that I used for today's video. Take care, you guys. Stay safe and happy and healthy, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.